Yep. Okay. I'm here. I'm here. Sorry, guys. There was some freeze up in the mix. But anyway, yo, guys. It is Old Man G here, back again. Hopefully everyone can hear me. This is my live Manchester United versus Arsenal match review. Shout out to those. And then first and foremost, is everything working? I'm on a tethered thing. So if the connection's cool, let me know. If the audio's cool, let me know. I greatly appreciate it. So if it's a bit laggy or whatever like that, like I said, just bear with me, okay? I'm streaming from I'm not the ideal circumstance anyway, but I had to get this done anyway. First and foremost, guys, hopefully people like the new graphics layout and everything like that. So I just got a few graphics, and it's like just making things look a bit professional. So I'm going to be doing a community post fairly soon, just to show you about updates and things that are going to be happening with the channel. So I'm slowly but surely kind of phasing in things in, and one of them has been this kind of new graphics like updates, so things are just a bit more tidier, as well as a few other things. Second thing before I get into it is check out my second channel, Red Marvel, links in the description. I'm posting a lot of non-football related stuff, entertainment, movie reviews, etc. I recently just posted a review on Arcane, actually. So if you could head over to Red Marvel, links in the description, head over, subscribe, get involved. And if you have anything that you want me to watch or request or discuss, EM me, DM me, and I can get a video out and we can check that out. So that's all the admin out of the way. Shout out to, I've got EFSC in the chat, man. EFSC says, big up RDS, thank you, Chief. Toaz says, go Manchester United. And he also says Marcus Rashford to score. And then EFEC says high stakes. We're high stakes. It's good. So, I mean, the image speaks for itself. This is obviously Manchester United versus Arsenal match review, and the image speaks for itself. It is going to be Michael Carrick versus Arteta. Now, unfortunately, Ralf Rangnick isn't going to be available for this match, but it looks like he is in Carrington. He has been able to come to because I think there was a concern that he might even be here for the Crystal Palace game. However, he is going to be here. Oh, another thing before I get into it, like I've got a new mic. I've got a new mic from from Friday. So when I do my live show, especially the top 10, expect an increase in quality of my microphone. It's going to be a Blue Yeti. So yeah, improving things coming with the channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe to it as well. But things are going to be moving, fingers crossed and God willing. Anyway, getting into this preview because this is important. Yeah, so I guess the way that I see it is that, you know, unfortunately, Rangnick isn't going to be here. It's not ideal. Really, it's not. But we've got Carrick. And Carrick, obviously, well, Arteta obviously was an assistant to Pep. So in terms of former coaching experience, not that separating the two, aside from the fact that Arteta has been the manager of Arsenal Football Club for more than 2 years now, or approximately 2 years and above now. Carrick hasn't actually been in a managerial position. Fair play to Carrick. He did. We obviously beat Villarreal. And then we actually, sorry, 1 second. Let me just check something. Let me just check. Yep, I'm good. Okay, cool. I'm good. I'm sounding clear. That's good. Hopefully not Yasir Mike. No, not EFC man. It's a Blue Yeti. It's a Blue Yeti. So hopefully it should be a lot clearer. My microphone for my computer and my headphones is not too bad actually. So, but I just want something a bit more professional and clear. That will work along with all the other stuff that I've got planned for this channel. So yeah. I was going to say. So yeah, essentially what I'm saying is that like Carrick is going into this like in a sense with a free hit. Now, to be honest, I put must win in the title because this is actually a must win game. If we lose to Arsenal, then I'm starting to worry about whether we're even going to get top 4. I generally am, worried that that we may actually get top 4 if we don't beat Arsenal, just because of the sheer point gap. Let alone challenging for. I got Limo Lerner from Twitter saying, "Limo Lerner, hi, hope you're doing well, mate." If we don't beat Arsenal at Old Trafford, then I don't have much hope for top 4. To be honest, I think we'll be too far behind Arsenal. I think we'll be even. I mean, if I'll get the Premier League tape up later, but it might even be something like 13 points behind Arsenal Football Club. I don't know how we recover that. By the end of the season. Now, that said, after this Arsenal game, we do have a pretty easy run. And what would be the ideal scenario would be if Carrick can somehow get the win against Arsenal. He then hands the reins to Rangnick, and Rangnick will start with, got Crystal Palace, who aren't easy, but are better than Arsenal. And I think we've got Norwich after that. So we've got a very good run of games that Rangnick can come in that we can win with a new manager bouncing momentum to push us within distance of top 4 to get back into top 4 race. Because to be honest, title race is over. Title race is dead. After being pimp slapped by City and Liverpool, title race is over. So there's no title race like that. So the best thing from this season right now is securing top 4, getting a good run in the Champions League and FA Cup. That's it. My eggs are in the FA Cup and having a decent run in the Champions League, and you never know what happens in the Champions League, especially with Ralf Rangnick managing. So that's kind of where I see things. EFC says Ronaldo must live. I'm not sure whether this will be the game. I mean, it's interesting, and I'm going to go into the formation in a second anyway, because obviously Ronaldo came off from the bench against Chelsea, which I think makes sense. Now, I think that he would be. I think you have to play him against Arsenal. I know Ramsdale's a good keeper, but I think that he's the type of the Arsenal defense, to be honest. I mean, it's okay. The centre back's okay, but I don't think it's that great. And I think you want to have a Ronaldo type player in this defense. In my personal opinion, I think that will cause a lot of problems. Yeah, let's quickly get onto the starting. And I didn't watch Michael Carrick's press conference. So for those who are watching, keep informed. As far as I'm aware, from an injury point of view, Luke Shaw is probably the only one I think is still unavailable. Maguire obviously is back from his 1 game suspension, which inevitably means that he's probably going to be coming into the starting lineup, which I assume is going to come starting lineup. And then obviously Pogba's injured, so he's still out till January. Varane, as far as I'm aware, is also still injured as well. He's not back yet. And I think Cavani. I think Cavani might. He's either out or on the bench. I don't think he's fully fit yet either. So that's kind of where we are from an injury point of view. Now, let me just quickly turn and I'll get this up. So I'm going to just get into my starting 11 just there. I'm going to stop share screening. There you go. See my remark. I'm going to just bring up the creation formation to see. So hopefully everyone can see that. Let's start. So what was it doing? There we go. Jeez, this connection is brickish. I apologize, guys. Better show on the weekend, definitely. So formation generator here. Obviously in goal, and I'll just get this to David De Gea is going to be in goal. There's no doubt about that. Come up for what? Yeah. So De Gea in goal. Centre back, I assume Maguire's going to come back in, guys. Maguire's going to come back in. It's going to be Maguire, Lindelof, I think. I just don't see, from the club's point of view, that they love Lindelof. I would love it to be Bailly and Lindelof, but what would be fascinating is if Bailly plays. If Bailly plays instead of having Maguire, Lindelof, it'll be very, very interesting because it'll mean that it will literally mean that it will confirm the favoritism. It'll confirm the favoritism that Ollie had, which is I'm picking my favorites and I pick. Whereas if Carrick picks Bailly, then you're like, okay, it's actually based on form, based on potential, based on delivery, not based on favoritism. Whereas if he picks Maguire, then it's like, okay, this is just. It's either just favoritism from the coaching staff, or it's actually coming from upstairs. I.e., you paid 80 million for this player. This player must play, and I don't dismiss that because when you look at what Tuchel's and stuff like that to do and playing Lukaku and Werner and Havertz, etc. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens with this selection. Remember to like the vid, guys, like the vid and subscribe. It really does go a long way. What's next? So obviously back four, Lindelof, Maguire. There'll be Wan-Bissaka, who I'm really feeling for right now. He's not had, I would argue, the best. Let's have a look. Let's try that. Coming up. There we go. And Wan-Bissaka. He's not. I mean, he's been okay from a consistency point of view, but he could be a lot better. And certainly, in the Rangnick system, I wonder whether he'll adapt to it accordingly. Against Chelsea, to be honest, obviously he gave away the penalty, which wasn't ideal. But geez, man, he wasn't good. He wasn't good against Chelsea, and obviously the cap off the penalty. Although he did make that really good block, so I'm not going to completely go against him. But yeah, it wasn't ideal for Big Wan, man. It really, really wasn't. Moving on. Okay, so left back obviously will be Shaw here. So, sorry, it's not going to be Shaw actually because Shaw is injured, isn't he? It's going to be Alex Telles. So put Alex Telles here. Who defensively I still think is relatively shaky and is legit a worry. However, he's all we have. I don't think we have any other. Brandon Williams is obviously we're on loan. We don't really have any additional options. So we've got to go with this dude. we've got to go with Alex Telles. I mean, to be fair, he's good going forward, and obviously from set pieces, cross and stuff like that. He's pretty solid. So if we can make sure, because I think there's one thing I noticed about Arsenal, it's that I don't think that they're not particularly great defending set pieces well. Corners, crosses, free kicks. So I think if we're going to take the game to Arsenal, we really need to take advantage of that set piece delivery, movement, etc. That's very, very important. Going forward, pushing their fullbacks back and causing them problems. Otherwise, they're just going to do it to us, and it's going to be an issue. Shout out to Talk MEFC. Thank you for joining, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you leave a like on the video. It goes a long way. Appreciate it. So let's quickly, and obviously you can see my socials below as well. So if we go into midfield now, how do I think that this? And I don't even know because Carrick has kind of chosen a different midfield almost every single game, really. So I'm not entirely sure what midfield is going to go with. He played with, I think, McTominay, Fred, and I think Matic last game as well, which is weird. And I would be surprised if he does that again against Arsenal. I don't think it's a good tactic, especially at home, to cede possession and give Arsenal most of the ball. I just don't think that's a good idea. I don't think we will do that at home. What is he? How is he going to go? I mean, I'm going to stick to. Tomlinson says, hopefully Sancho continues his form. Will Rangnick be in the stands? I think that would be good. I think he probably will be in the stands. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the stands and showing support to the team. I think that'll actually be really useful to see the weakness and stuff like that. But obviously, he's going to be taking training from. He's not going to be in charge in this game. But maybe, you never know, he might be giving Carrick advice behind the scenes. That would certainly help, I would think. You know what? I'm going to stick to my safest bet when it comes to the formation. That's 4-3-2, and that's not what I want. It's 4-2-3-1. That's what I think he's going to play. Where is it? 4-2. Yes. Or is he going to do it that way? Yes. So I'm going to stick to Fred and McTominay. You know, the safest ones. You know, I'd love it to Donny van de Beek to come in here, but I'd be very, very surprised. Now, I mean, the cam position, you can make an argument like could he start Van de Beek where Bruno is, because he did do that against Villarreal, if I recall. He didn't do that against Arsenal. Obviously, Van de Beek came on, I think. But I'm going to go with the safe. I'm going to go safe. The safe really is that he's probably going to start Bruno, even though I don't think Bruno's been particularly good. And I would rather have Bruno and Rashford coming on as impacts, because the best, to be honest, this season was when they've been coming from the bench and being impact subs. If I'm perfectly honest, that's what they've been like. If it was me, I would put I'd play Matic and Fred, and then I play Van de Beek in front of them. That's what I would do. Or I play I play Matic, Fred, and Van de Beek in the midfield and drop McTominay. Although they are wanting to make McTominay more of a defensive mid. But this is what I think they'll go with. And then the LM, likewise with Rashford. I don't think Martial is fit. Or maybe he is. But he's going to go with Rashford on the left. Greenwood's interesting because Greenwood is now, because of Sancho's form, Sancho's going to come. But people are now forgetting about Greenwood. And it's interesting, because Greenwood for me was doing his thing. So now Greenwood is almost like a back to a relegated bench player now, so that Sancho can play. So yes, I appreciate Sancho's form, and everyone wants Sancho. But yeah, let's have a look. Have people saying Ramsdale better than De Gea? I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to say that Ramsdale's better than De Gea because he's not been consistent for as long as De Gea has. But what I would say about Ramsdale is that, to be fair, people at the beginning of the season were slating this guy. We're saying he got people relegated. He was a BTEC keeper. He's useless, blah, 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 blah. But he's been fantastic and arguably one of the best goalkeepers of the season. And I think contributing to why Arsenal where they are. Because they have a keeper they have confidence in. And that fuels the back four, So he's proven the haters wrong, if that makes any sense, So, fair play to him. I don't have any issue with it, but I'd be calling it, it'd be a stretch, to say that he's now better than De Gea, that just doesn't make sense. Donny will start under Rangnick. We'll see. I'm keeping my options. The way I think of it is that at the end of the day, every manager has a clean slate. So every player has a clean slate under the new manager, and at the end, it'll be up to the manager to make the decision as to who plays and who doesn't play. So I don't think it's a good idea to assume that, that player, that player isn't going to play, or that player isn't going. No, you don't know how that new manager is going to look at that player, how they're going to fit into the system, where they're going to go. So basically, we will see. I think that there's certain players I think would thrive under Rangnick and firms that will not, but it really depends on how Rangnick decides to use the players and use the team. I'm not entirely sure how he's going to go about doing that as of yet. Is the end of Paul Pogba at United? Probably. It looks like he's probably not going to sign a deal in January, which is interesting. It looks like Real Madrid don't want him. I don't think Juventus can afford him and his wages, because he has said he's not going to take a wage cut. So you've got to think which clubs can afford Paul Pogba's wages and want to sign him. Real Madrid and PSG. That's it for me. No team in Italy. So it's got to be Real Madrid and PSG. And Real Madrid, my impression is they don't want him currently. So it's going to be PSG. And I think what I would suspect is if PSG, if Zidane goes to PSG, then probably Pogba will go to PSG. Now, EFC says the Yes just scored. Folks say, oh yeah, that's not ideal. It's not ideal. I did want to see Chelsea drop points against Watford. But it is what it is. So they're probably ahead of something. I think, if I recall, if I'm looking at let me get the BBC app open. I think Liverpool, City. I think all the top of Liverpool, City, and Chelsea are all ahead as far as my aware. Liverpool and lead, and Man City and Chelsea with slender leads. Yeah. Oh yeah, geez. Liverpool destroying Everton 3-1, unfortunately, at home, and Ziyech has scored against fair or 2-1. Oh dear. Del Poro says thoughts on Ralf wanting Werner. I'm assuming the thing is that was tweeted by what's his name, Falk, I think, and he has been wrong in the past. He has been. I'd be very surprised. I think what's weird about that story, because like I said, Falk he's been right a few things, but he's been wrong quite a few times. And what's weird about the story is that why would, unless Chelsea have signaled that Werner wants to go, which as far as I'm aware they haven't, and as far as I aware, Tuchel hasn't said that he wants to go. Why would Rangnick want to poach one of his apprentices' players? Like, it just makes it just came out of the blue, really, because Werner himself and Tuchel have not signaled anything regarding wanting to leave or move, etc. So it's very, very strange. I just don't think it's going to happen. Is my point. So I'd be very, very, very surprised. And yeah, I think probably goes PSG. I want to see the 4-2-2-2, see what it's all about. Yeah, I would as well. I want to see that as well. I would definitely want to see that as well, and see. I mean, in a 4-2-2, I would suspect that it would probably be like a Matic and a Fred, and then probably play Rashford and Sancho, and then maybe Cavani and Ronaldo, or Greenwood and Ronaldo, something like that. Maybe that might work. I don't know. I feel comments before we move on. This one. Yeah, Christian Folk was the guy that said United were going for Rangnick. The next day we hired him. Yeah, exactly. Christian Folk. He used to be. He's not bad. He's okay when it comes to viability, but like for a lot of things, he's not. So I'd be, especially I think with Sancho and a few other things, he jumps the gun quite a bit, and he's good for Bayern news, but outside of Bayern, I don't think he's that great. So I would take this whole Werner thing with a picture of salt. And shout out to Rich Sportsman. Hope you're doing well, Chief. Please head over to Rich Sports to subscribe to his channel. He posts a lot of good fan content there. So even I'm at the point I'm inspired by what Richard does and his commitment, etc. as well, and the audience and community that he's building over there. So please head over to Rich Sports, like and subscribe, and support him. So let me finish this starting 11 here. Let's finish the starting 11. Ronaldo is obviously going to be up top. I don't think he'll be dropped for his Arsenal. I don't think he should. I think an Arsenal game actually suits Cristiano Ronaldo. I think the defenders are a lot more inexperienced of Arsenal than Chelsea. So I think this is the game for Ronaldo. I think what's important is the left side is important. It's very important, like, because let's be Wan-Bissaka is not really gonna. He can push up, but he's not really going to really cross. So you need Sancho really to. There needs to be quick transition between these two, which again, it's probably not going to happen. But as soon as Sancho gets the ball, you need him to feed Ronaldo, and especially this side where you've got Fred who will be able to win the ball back quickly. You've got Telles and Rashford bombing forward. You need Rashford to actually look, not just shooting, being inside forward, but actually deliver the ball to Ronaldo. And you need Telles to also do that as well. So this, for me, the key to winning this game against Arsenal is utilizing our width, our wingers, and our fullbacks. That's the key to winning the game, not the midfield, because Arsenal's midfield is way better than ours overall, in my opinion. It is way better than ours. So we need to utilize the width because I think we have the better goal scorers. Saka, as far as I'm aware, I think he might be injured, he might be out. So the threats to me for Arsenal really come from Emile Smith-Rowe, mostly him, to be honest. Because if Saka's gone, it's really Smith-Rowe and possibly even Lacazette, because Aubameyang's goal scoring form is just not good. It's not good at the moment in time. So I think we have better forwards up front that are more form, and I think if we can feed them from the wings, we can beat Arsenal at Old Trafford. But we can't win the midfield battle. That's what we can't do. Volontimente Pacifico, welcome bro. Thank you for joining in the preview. Says when Rangnick will be in the training ground. From what rumors say from tomorrow. Rumors say from tomorrow. So he's not going to take this Arsenal game, but I think from tomorrow he'll be at the training ground, and I think he will be in charge for the game against Crystal Palace. There's no doubt about that. No problem, Rich. Ronaldo should play. He should definitely for this game. Personally, I would as well, but and like I said at the start, I just have a feeling that Carrick will go back to, because Maguire's now available, and whether that's because of the board saying that he has to, or whether that's the bias by the coaches, you don't know. And this is what's going to be interesting, because if Carrick and Rangnick both persist with Maguire and Lindelof, I think that this is probably a board decision, honestly, a managerial decision. That's what I think. If they persist with those guys, I think it's a board decision, not a managerial decision. However, it clearly can't be, because Varane, it was the only reason why Lindelof is playing is because Varane is injured. So it would actually be Varane and Maguire. That's what it would be. It'd be Varane and Maguire that'd be starting, and actually that would actually make us have a better defense than what we have now. This Lindelof and thingies, and ever since we played with Lindelof, Lindelof and Maguire is just not our good centre back pairing. We've conceded so many goals at centre back pairing, and I don't understand why we somehow think it will work when we've conceded less goals with Maguire or Varane, or even in Maguire, or even in Lindelof. But Lindelof and Maguire just does not work, and yet somehow I'm 90% sure he'll start them against Arsenal tomorrow, and that's the main reason why I'm worried. If Bailly comes into this team, if maybe even a Van der Beek comes into this team, I'm not as worried. But the main thing is the defense, and that's what I'm worried about, because Telles isn't that great defensively, and I think Maguire is going to get exposed if not careful. Although it sounds like Saka is not going to be available, and so I think that will help us. So let me move through. I'm going to be starting to round up soon. Score predictions, and let me know what you think the score predictions are in the comments, guys. For those who are watching, thank you for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. It's always nice to be able to go live, and people will be watching, asking questions, get involved. If you have any questions for me, let me know, guys. It's appreciated. It really, really is. So what are my score predictions? We don't keep clean sheets, unfortunately. The only clean sheet we kept, I can't remember the last clean sheet we kept in the Premier League. I legit can't remember the last time clean sheet we kept in the Premier League. In the Champions League, yes, but I legit cannot remember the last time we kept a clean sheet in the Premier League. So you're right. So for some of the scores, so for example, Talk MC says 2-1 to Manchester United, Sancho and Ronaldo, and Romonte Pacifico says 3-2 to Manchester United. I think if Bay starts, I think it'll be 2-1. I think that if Lindelof Maguire starts, I'm probably going to go for a draw. Much like it was last time when Arsenal came up, because where they caused us problems. But Arteta was also cautious. I think it'd be 1-1. So I think if Bay starts, it'll be 2-1. I think if he doesn't, and I think it'll be 1-1. I think it'll be a draw. I would be very surprised if I won't be very surprised, but like at Old Trafford, I'd be surprised if we lost this game. We don't have it. There's no Pogba playing to give away a penalty, or the Wan-Bissaka is still there. So a draw or a win definitely. But there's no but we cannot be pin slapped by Arsenal. We can't. As he says, one was Arsenal hashtag high six Arteta lives. If that really does happen, that's the worst thing, because the thing with City and Liverpool, right, is that there's an acknowledgement of Fortune United fans that they are another level to us. Liverpool fans know that, City fans know, United fans know. So Liverpool, it's weird because Liverpool, you'd think that Liverpool fans would, and they still are to an extent, but you'd think that they would put that over United fans' heads so much after they did it. But I think there's a general consensus that, we know that Ollie's going to show us crap. We know United aren't nowhere near us. So it's not as, back in the day, 10-20, they would do that. But because it's such a better position, it's like, whatever, which is sad, but it is what it is. The problem with Arsenal doing that to United at home is that Arsenal are, or should be, in a worse position than we are. Banter FC, AFTV, etc., etc. And they also have a lot of social media presence, because obviously AFTV is one of the biggest channels, etc. So if you have a situation where Arsenal banter United in this situation, it's going to be peak. You're going to have to leave social media completely if we get spanked by Arsenal 4-1. 2-1 is fine, but 4-1, anything higher, and especially when Aubameyang hasn't been on form, that shouldn't happen. We can't allow that to happen. And we need, and on top of that, the most important thing is that if we do lose to Arsenal, it'll be something like 12, 13 points difference, I think, maybe more. I think if we win, because I think Arsenal we have, in fact, let me bring the Premier League table up, actually. Let me stop that. Let me bring the Premier League table up. There we go. Premier League table. Oh, geez, man. Liverpool destroying Everton. People are gonna say Benitez is an agent after this result. People are gonna say Benitez is an agent after this result, man. So that's the Premier League table here. Chelsea obviously on top. So if Arsenal win, they will go to 26 points. And United, we're like United at 10th. United at 10th. We're mid-table. United at 10th. So if we lose to Arsenal, Arsenal will go to 4th and they'll be on 26 points, which means that we'll be so look, 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll be 8 points behind them. I'm sorry, it's not in 13. So okay, so it's not as bad, but it's still not good. So we need to beat Arsenal Football Club. We can't be 8 points behind Arsenal and assume we're going to get top 4. That just kind of not at this stage. Not to mention the fact that we're 10th. If we win, looking at this table, looks like Spurs have 2 games in hand, so they've got to play. Looking at this table, if we win 18-21, we'll at least go. We should probably go to 6th. We'll go to 6th and we'll be 2 points behind Arsenal with a good run of games. That's where we need to be, and we'll be 3 points from Porth. That's fine. Going into I would say a good winter break. And this is why I'm saying in the title, this is why this is a must win. This is why this is a must win. Rich says 2-1 to United. It's time we beat them. Exactly. I agree. We need to beat Arsenal Football Club. Everton, it need always. I think there's only been one. The only time I saw Everton beat Liverpool was last season at Anfield when they had all those injuries and they made Richarlison look like prime Ronaldo. That's the only time I've seen it work. Other than that, they usually get spanked by them. Do you think Rangnick will take it on to the next level like Tuchel did to Chelsea? I hope so. I hope so. We've got to bear in mind that he's only here for 6 months, although obviously I think there is a suggestion that he wouldn't mind getting the permanent job. But it's clear to me that Rangnick wants control in some capacity, whether that's having a senior consultancy role and appoint a next manager. He wants control to build his philosophy in the way that he wants to play football. So whether that's as a manager in a global sense, or whether that's as a football director, senior consultant in that sense. And he's obviously going to one of the biggest football clubs in the world. From what I've seen in Rangnick, I feel that he's better in that kind of building a club philosophy role, and especially with how he took RB Leipzig, than necessarily a manager. So I think that people need to caper the expectation that yes, he's obviously a better manager and coach than Ollie. That's not difficult. So we will be better from this perspective of like we have a better coach, better coaches hopefully when he brings some of these guys over, and better training. Absolutely. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go from now to the end and just win all these games. You know, I just don't think that's going to happen. And I think that people need to tailor the expectation to the reality. Hopefully, especially because after this Arsenal game, we've got a pretty decent run. And in fact, if I just click on, I'll show you guys the run here. So we have Arsenal at home, obviously. Then on Sunday this week, we have Crystal Palace at home, which, you know, I don't think it's going to be easy because, to be honest, we always struggle against Palace, a lot against their pace, and Vieira is a good coach. However, we've got Rangnick coming in, so hopefully we get that new manager bounce. It's a new manager, it's at Old Trafford, so we can do something. So that's why, you know, fingers crossed, we get a result here. And then you're thinking, listen, the rest of December, happy days. Young boys at home, CL. We're already qualified for the Champions League, and we already topped the group. So you just play kids, youth. For me, in this game, you know, you play youth basically. You play youth or players that need game time. So whether that's like Cavani, whether that's maybe Varane might be back by this point, so maybe bring Varane in, Telles, Dallo, maybe a Langer, Ahmad type of people, because this is just a dead rubber game, like it literally is. Then, you know, we basically have two, and then you have Norwich. So you have 2 more games. You've got Norwich away again. It should be a straightforward win. So already you're seeing here, listen, beat Arsenal 3 points, beat Crystal Palace 3 points, Norwich 3 points. That's 9 points. It should be 9 points. Brentford away will be tough. I can even say that might be a draw, to be honest, because of the way that they play. But also they lost to Norwich, so who knows? So again, you expect United and they form to win that game. Brighton at home, again, likewise. Brighton have been good, they've been okay, but we've got to talk about we should win. Newcastle away, likewise, we should. But so that's what I'm saying. So if you look at this Christmas run, like if Rangnick starts well in home form, like we should win. If you even exclude Arsenal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, assuming that we don't have a decimation of injuries, we should win these games. We should be getting 21 points out of these games easily. You know, whether we will or not remains to be seen, but we should. And if we do that, then I can definitely. If we get 21, now and I'll obviously end here because I've been going on for a while. But if we get, you know, if we win all of our games in December, basically, then as far as I'm concerned, we probably secure top 4 easily. You know, maybe potentially got back into a title challenge. I don't know, but definitely secure top 4, because these all should be winnable games for Manchester United, all of them, with the exception of maybe Arsenal. But these all should be winnable games, because most of these teams that you see here are on the bottom half of the table. Like they all are. Brighton, you know, I don't know where Brighton are. I'm going to go back, but let's have a look. Yeah, sorry, no. So with the exception of Brighton, we're actually doing fairly well. All those other teams, Brentford, Palace, Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle, all those teams on the bottom half of the table, and we should be winning those games. It's as simple as that. PSG just drew to Nice, still plenty to play for this season. Exactly. Right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, guys, if you need to channel to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio, follow us on Twitter at WeAreUnitedX. Smash the notification button so you get notified when I go live. Make sure that you stay tuned. We will be I'm hoping to do some watch-alongs. Well, a few things. Hoping to do some watch-alongs with this new setup. Mike's coming in, so audio will be better. Top 10 Manchester United players weekly is going to be back. I'm hoping to get some other Manchester United fans onto the show. It's going to be a weekly show on Mondays from 9 o'clock, where we basically discuss, rank, in our opinion, the top 10 players for Manchester United for that week. We might even evolve it to include top 10 players in general around Europe for the week, but for the start anyway, it's going to be Manchester United rated players. But if it's popular and if people want it, we'll maybe include just all players just in general as well. So make sure that you stay tuned for that as well. Check out my second channel, Red Marvel, posting a lot of stuff on that as well. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers.